So I think my bottom three are Angie, Devin, and Lazaro.
Wonder how long they'll keep Lazaro around America. At some point, you gotta say, okay, you just can't sing real well sometimes.
Although his vocal was better on his solo performance
definitely.
last night. I do think that was better, but it's one of those things. I like the point that Keith brought up last night about while his vocal was strong and he felt, like you could tell that he knew the song, was more comfortable singing it, but rhythmically, like he made that comment about like the rhythm of the song still kind of felt a little awkward to him. Yeah. And I think that was a good comment for Lazaro to kind of take. But it's one of those things in this competition, I think, they're learning probably, easily 3 new songs, 4 new songs a week.
Right.
If he's having trouble keeping up with that pace,
right,
you wonder how
the words and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, how far he can.
Well, Devin, whenever he's doing his song, they were talking about him singing ahead of the beat, or is he ahead or behind the beat?
Behind.
He's behind it. So they, corrected him on that. So people just don't realize they do that.
Yeah.
Hey, there's Bella. So Bella, on Wednesday nights you're the security dog, and on Thursday nights you're the American Idol dog. Is that what we can call you, the American Idol dog? So did you agree with that thing Jimmy said?
What, boys in the bottom 3?
Well, yeah, that's something you don't necessarily agree with. That's something you said earlier, but with his comments in general, do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he did say that Angie was going in the wrong direction. That's something,
right. He doesn't feel bottom 3, and I don't know if she's bottom 3 either. I mean,
I still think based on her vocal,
this will be a good test to see how much of a fan base she has.
Yeah.
Because if she's not in the bottom 3, her fan base is probably pretty strong at this point.
Do you think they'll give the rankings like they did the first week or not?
I don't know. It'd be nice if they did that.
I know in Angie's pre-interview, she said she wanted to try to do something different or show a different side of her. But sometimes I don't know that that's a good thing.
Yeah, because she doesn't know that side very well.
Yeah. I thought Smokey Robinson did a good job of providing comments and instructing the contestants. So do you agree with Jimmy's comments, or who do you?
For the most part, yeah.
Who do you think is your bottom 3?
My bottom 3 would probably be the 3 boys. After that last performance, that's where I would put them in the bottom 3.
I mean, I do agree with Jimmy's comments that while they were, I think Ryan said they're not supposed to be voted on the group performances.
Well, you can't help it. You saw it.
Yeah.
And you saw it after their other performances, so it's going to stick in your head.
It was kind of like crash and burn. That's the last thing that you remember.
That's the wrong place to go bad.
Yeah. So what do you think of some of Nikki's comments from last night?
They were a little calmer than usual, really. And she told the guys the way it was.
Yeah.
Besides that.
She asked if Smokey Robinson could be her sugar daddy.
Yeah, I did hear that, yeah. One Republican and Catherine McVie?
One Republican and what?
And Catherine McVie.
And Keith Urban.
And Keith Urban. It's a lot of people listening tonight.
Do you remember seeing Colton's sister audition this year? You know how she kind of got to...
I didn't see her this year.
I can't say that I did either.
Yeah.
Wonder if...
They generally would call her out, I would think,
Mm-hmm.
And we're back at a commercial at 35 minutes into the show, and not one person has been told where they are.
So do you think all the boys will be eliminated before any girl goes home?
Yeah, I said in the very beginning, this is the girls' year. I don't think any girl deserves to go home tonight. Is it time for results yet? 46 minutes into the show and no results of any kind.
They're going to go boom, boom, boom. I think everything we're going to know in bottom 3, they'll go to commercial. have someone sing for they'll know the bottom three, and then coming out of the commercial, we'll find out who is singing for their life. And
all right, we're 51 minutes in, and the three boys are at the bottom. The bottom three.
So Angie must have a pretty good fan base.
That tells me she has a good fan base, yeah. Probably the young boys.
Although usually it's the young girls that vote a lot and watch this and vote a lot. So
good point. But now you can do it anonymously on an app, so
yeah, it's a lot easier to vote now, and not too much effort. Make it easier. So do you think Lazaro is finally going to get it?
I don't know.
I think it's going to be Devin.
It's Devin or Lazaro probably, I think, are the two that are one of those two. I don't know if it's going to be Lazaro because he still probably has the votes to get him through. I think based on performance, he's the one that should go home.
Yeah, I think the group thing really hurt him last night because I think you could tell that he was the one that messed up.
All right.
His solo was better, but can't say I'm surprised.
No.
All right.
Off to your games?
Off to my games.
When's the season over?
Not soon enough for you.
No.
These are the Sweet 16 games. So
2 more weeks.
Yeah, they'll get down to the Final Four by Sunday.
All right, and then Thursday is a Thursday game next weekend?
It's Saturday they play. The following Saturday, the 6th or
down
something.
to the final two?
And then the championship game's the 8th of April. These are the last Thursday night games, though. So I won't be distracted next week.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, let's do a quick recap. American Idol this week. This week's pre-show was very short because I actually was running a little late and needed to finish watching the American Idol show from last night. I didn't get a chance to see it all last night. So we don't really have many pre-show comments. We have a couple comments like during the show and in the early part there, but tonight ended up being that the three guys were the bottom three. So all five girls skated through to the next show without any problems. And who went home was Devin tonight. As of yesterday's show, I would say probably the worst of the guys was probably Lazaro. They were all fairly equal. Lazaro did a lot better job than the week before, though. So he had a decent performance. But I think of the guys that were in the bottom three, he was the worst of the three. Apparently Devin doesn't have much of a fan base, which I don't know why. I thought his Spanish vote would have kept him around a little bit longer. He was my favorite guy of the guys, but he is no longer in the running for American Idol. So of the guys now, it has to be Burnell. Lazaro, if he has good weeks, he's decent. I think he, as I mentioned in past weeks, is basically getting, I don't hate calling it the pity vote, but I think that's what he's getting. And he's overcome a lot, so it's very impressive what he overcomes to sing. But if you're talking about true performance, I think he was the worst performer this week. So all the girls went through this week. So next week, all the girls will be singing again, down to two guys. And as I predicted in the very first show, this is going to be the year of the girls. And I still am sticking to that. Of the performances last night, the guys were the weakest. And the very last performance of the guys, the three guys together, was pretty horrible. So I'm sure that helped make that decision. No, it's not supposed to be a voting item, but I'm sure that it is. So this week's show is actually going to be very short. There is nobody in the Hangouts to talk with me right now. I'm going to hang out for a little bit to see if anybody does show up. But if you're out there listening and you want to come give your opinion on what the results were tonight, you can come into the Idol Fancast Hangout and talk with us. And you can also come if you want to just chat in the chat room. Go to tech-zen.tv and click on live at the top and go to chat. And we can chat with you in the chat room live, and you can express your opinions that way as well.
So for right now, we're just going to kind of hang out for like 10 minutes or so and see if anybody wants to come and chat with us. And while we're waiting also on tonight's show, we had a bunch of performances. In fact, it was like 46 minutes after the hour until we actually got our first result. That's how long it took to get all the performances. And the performances tonight were, well, Keith Urban did a little thing, and Colton Dixon did a little thing, and One Republic and Catherine McVie did a little thing. So we had 3 different performances. Plus we had the American Idols themselves do a performance with the Motown dedication type thing. So and that was pretty decent. It was okay. The girls did sounded better, like they blend a lot better than the guys do. I just don't think all the guys are necessarily good at doing the harmony parts. So, and as you can see, the other part that was with me tonight, my wife, is off watching basketball. So it is that time of year where I become basically a basketball widower, I guess you could say, because of the March Madness stuff. So, and next week I'm actually gone. She's still around, but in watching basketball. So when I get back, apparently I'm still gonna have a couple more days of basketball. Because I won't watch it while I'm gone. There's no reason to watch it while I'm gone. I'm not necessarily into the whole sports thing, although I watch it just because she watches it. So, and it looks like we got somebody coming into the Hangout, and they're gone. They're here and they're gone.